Hey, it's Oz here, and in this quick video, I'm going to cover 3 FBA mistakes to avoid. These are mistakes that a lot of people make when choosing a product to sell on Amazon. And the crazy thing is that when you see what they are, they seem logical, they seem like common sense, but they're the worst and you need to avoid them. So let's take a peek. Okay, so mistake number 1 is choosing something that you care about. The old adage when it comes to blogging is choose a niche that you're passionate about. And the whole thinking behind that is that you'll always have something to say. You won't struggle to create content. But things get a little bit more complicated when it involves selling something to other people, because the things that you care about may not be that popular. For example, if you care about collecting snails, then you may find it tough to find a big enough niche. I could be wrong about that, I don't know, I've never actually checked, but you get what I'm saying. There are plenty of things that people care about, like hobbies and cool things that not many other people are into. And that's okay, but when it comes to selling, if you want to make a living from selling on Amazon, then you do need to choose something that a lot of people care about, not just you. Okay, so let's move on to mistake number 2, and that is to copy other sellers. Now, I made this mistake a few years ago. I looked at what was selling. I saw a lot of people selling a particular product, and I thought, oh, I'll do that too. What I realized later on is that the niche was actually a lot more competitive than I thought because I hadn't done any research. I just thought that what they were selling was a good idea. And it was, and it still is, but it was and is a very competitive niche. Now, the other side of this, of course, is that if somebody is selling something, you don't actually know whether they are profitable and how profitable they are. Now, there are tools that can help you gain that information, or at least estimates, and I'll put a link in the description below this video to a list of my resources, and you'll find at least one tool in there that does this. So copying sellers just for the sake of copying them, just because you think that what they're selling is a good idea, is also a mistake. You need to always back it up with research just to verify that the numbers check out. Okay, and let's move on to the final mistake, which is being unique. There is an old adage that says artists die poor. I'm sure you've heard of plenty of artists and great thinkers who were barely able to survive and who were only recognized years after their deaths. So being unique ties into this. The problem with being unique, whilst it looks and sounds like a very logical thing, is that you're going into uncharted waters. You don't have access to any numbers, any track record that will tell you whether that product will or won't work. Now, there's nothing wrong in and of itself going into a marketplace with a unique product, but I would not recommend doing this for your first few products at least. And if you do this, then I would recommend that you have some money to throw behind the product, because if your product is unique, most times people won't be looking for it because they don't know it exists. So you have to engage in something called interrupt marketing, which is to interrupt people when they're looking for something similar or something related or something that will apply to them, and introduce to them the product. Now, the problem with that is that you're not driving warm leads to a product page where your unique product lives. You're actually driving leads and then you're having to spend time educating them. And that's pretty much the same as working with a very cold bunch of leads and trying to convert them. So it usually takes a little bit of money, unless your product is astonishing and people just go crazy as soon as they see this. So I'm speaking generally. For the most part, being unique, especially for your first few products, can be a mistake. It can be a very costly mistake. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this session. As I said, I'm going to leave a link in the description below this video, and you can see that on your screen now. And that is a list to all my guides and resources for anyone interested in Amazon FBA. Okay, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and that way you can keep up to date with all this cool stuff. And in the meantime, take it easy, and I shall catch you in the next video.